letter. We get to talk about community activities, what's happening in the Stone Mountain area, what may be happening with some of the charities that we help put together and support. So I do have a presentation that kind of helps me stay focused so that I can walk you through it. It's not going to take very long. So I'm going to share my screen to allow me to walk you through this. Okay, thank you. Um,
Full screen mode, is it possible? And kids, we'd like you to pay attention to this, please.
okay. Yeah, and as we go through this, oh, and I used to teach seventh grade science, so I understand when you have a question, please just, say something if I can't see you, or Sid, would you be my eyes, and
Yes.
if somebody puts up their hand, let me know.
Yes.
I would appreciate that. Okay. So as we are part of this newsletter, um, what I'm going to talk to you about are the tools that we use, the kind of things that I've been using. The DACDB is an email, are the websites, and I'll explain how that works. And this may be a little different. You would every week, anytime that you write an article, you would send it to me so I can put it in DACDB, and then I can put the newsletter together in our format. So you won't actually have to do a layout. I just need you to help me with those articles and some of the graphics, um, because things happen each week and they change, and we get to be creative and interesting with themes for each week. Okay. So there's a 4-week plan to the way that we run the club, and I'll go through that so you kind of get an idea that things are different each week. For every month, everything's different. Some of the purposes of the newsletter is to tell people it's not just our club, but it's people we want to invite. It's the district governor, who's kind of looking in and seeing what's going on. The assistant district governors are also on the email list. May want to know what's happening in Stone Mountain. So our objective is to inform everyone, just like a good journalist, tell everybody what, the who, what, when, why, where, how much, how many, the journalistic questions is going on in our neighborhood, and why it's important. Okay. Um, I'll go into some of the ideas for this publication, so that you realize that you, we're not working in a vacuum. We can come up with some other ideas. This is just a sampling of some of the things that I've had to do. And then we'll talk about the agreement, what I'm expecting and what you're prepared to do, and how, we sort of have a meeting of the minds. Okay. So that's my breakdown of what I want to tell you today. And we'll check in from time to time. So this won't be the only meeting that we have, or training, or, if you guys come up with something that you think might be better, I will be willing to listen. I need to hear it. So it's not just all one thought. Okay. Any questions yet?
Any questions, kids? Don't make me call you guys out. All
No,
right.
that's fine. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. Don't call anybody out yet.
Okay, not yet. All right.
So on this slide, the tools are at the top in red. It's DACDB, is I was explaining earlier, it's the Rotary website that, sorry, database that we use. We run all these modules for the newsletter, the the finances of the club, the bios for everyone. We can go in and look at each other's bios and what we do and who we are. And the reason that I can't let you build the actual newsletter is because it's in here, and I don't have the ability to give you access. Okay. And if I did, I would definitely give you access so that you could do this and build it for me. I have no problem with you helping me build it. So what we're going to do instead is you're going to send me or all the different groups, you're going to send us, Daddy, excuse me. She's having a meeting. So if what we're going to do is write the articles, and you're going to send them to me in the different formats, because email is our distribution channel. That's how we're getting the newsletters out once it's been assembled. So we'll be able to assemble it in the database. It's fairly a no-brainer once it's in the database. The formats that the database accepts are, what is going on? This is so sensitive. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
So Word and Canva. I've been using Canva to create pictures and flyers, you know, that the birthday greetings, the events that we need to publish. Like we're having a social at the end of the month, the fifth Tuesday at a brewery in Stone Mountain. So I will create a flyer for that, and I'll give you all the details. So you'll have it. And this is why we asked earlier what tools you know, because you're going to need to write the articles in Word so we can have all right, a DOCX format versus a PDF, because PDFs won't format the way we need them to format in the DATDB database. Okay. I'm also Sid, I'm also going to send you this presentation so that the kids can look at it at another point, okay, if they need to go back to it and refer to it. And then
Yeah, sure.
Canva, as I said, we do the flyers and any graphics that we want to use in a newsletter. Okay. So now we can. So basically, we have a 4-week plan of how we meet in our Rotary Club. And so the newsletter sort of follows a certain kind of order. The first week, we usually have a speaker, and then we meet in person. We've been meeting at the school. It's called the Piedmont Technical School. It's a 2-year college that does a lot of vocational work, where students can sign up to be HVAC or a lot of the plumbing, blue collar labor work. But they are trying to find the best words to say this. They're part of our community. Cynthia Edwards, who is who will be district governor of Rotary, was a vice president there. So we have a lot of connections to them. They have a Rotaract program, which is the college level version of Rotary, and they're a part of our community. So we use their space for this one meeting a month, and invite speakers to come in and talk to us. The Tuesday, the second Tuesday is on Zoom. So just like this, we may have a special um speaker, but it's usually just about the business of Rotary. And we usually have an agenda. So whatever the agenda is, it would be in the newsletter for that particular Tuesday on Zoom. And the third Tuesday, we don't necessarily meet as a group, but we do have to have a newsletter. And that's the newsletter for um, Rotary Means Business would be the meeting that we actually do have. It's where the different companies and people who represent different companies within Rotary meet, either at a district level or at some other club. You know, Tucker has a club, and um, Alpharetta may have a club, and you know, some of the places around the schools you go to will have a club, and they might do Rotary Means Business. So we would have to know ahead of time and go up there and tell them what's going on. I think I saw somebody's hand.
Tanai, did you have a question?
No, sorry, I actually raised it.
Okay.
Well,
All
at
right.
least you're playing with this system rather than any other system. So that's good.
Hey, he's paying attention.
Yes.
And so I just wanted the last two, the fourth Tuesday when we meet is for service projects. So that whole week is dedicated to whatever service project that we can volunteer for. So there isn't a physical meeting or a Zoom meeting, but we still have to put out a newsletter so we can tell everybody what those particular service projects are, make some suggestions, or people can have us highlight their service project so we can go join them. And that could be anything from writing letters for Valentine's for um the nursing homes. All right. And all we have to do as part of the newsletter team is write about it. Okay. We don't have to go and participate. This is your service project. Think of it that way, because this is a service to our community. And then on Tuesday, the fifth Tuesdays, if there is a fifth Tuesday in any given month, we go do something fun. Okay. As a club. And so we announce it, tell everybody what's going on, just to keep everybody abreast of things. So we tried to put in newsletters 2 weeks ahead what's happening on that Tuesday. Okay. So part of our job as journalists to put in this newsletter is to publicize events that are going to happen at least 2 weeks in advance. And if we get a month in advance and we need to fill space on a newsletter, great. Okay. If it's a big deal event. So any questions on how we sort of lay out the ideas from week to week?
Uh, well, apart from like that, I just wanted to know what's the general idea of the newsletters? I feel like I missed that. Like, what are we exactly writing?
Okay, so Rotary is a organization that has a few thousand clubs around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So like in Atlanta, and they're divided into the clubs, to districts, to regions, and then, you know, by country, and Rotary International is the entire body of Rotary.
Right.
It is business people who have come together to serve their community.
Mm.
And one of the biggest projects that Rotary has worked on worldwide is the eradication of polio. There's only 2 countries left in the world that have wild polio still, Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Mm.
And Rotary has spent millions of dollars over the years to eradicate that
1.2 billion.
1.2 billion, sorry, not just millions, to eradicate polio. And even though it still pops up, even here in our own population in America, we can address it quickly and work with doctors to help make sure that it doesn't come back. But and if we don't pay attention, it will come back. So along with working on polio, since there are only 2 major countries that still need it, then we've branched off into doing other service deeds. And so we'll help hand out food for, like, when the pandemic was happening, we'd go and work with groups like the churches here in Stone Mountain who handed out, and the food bank who packed boxes for people and just put them in the back of the trunk of the car while the cars drove through the parking lot. So we need to publicize that. Okay, we would write a story about where we are going to be 2 Saturdays from now, or a Friday evening from now, 2 weeks from now,
Right.
what we're going to do as a service project. Okay,
Okay.
so you got it?
Yeah.
Did I answer? Okay. All right. So just remember, whatever it is we say we're going to do, and Rotary, our job as this, do we have a name? As the newsletter team will be to write about it.
We can be creative and ask the kids to come up with a name for our team.
I like having teams branded. So
Yes, me too.
so you guys can come up with a really cool name. All right.
That's relevant today.
That's all right. Yeah, make it relevant. To what we're doing. So let's go into some of the ideas that we've written about. Speakers. I will get the bio from our publicist and our secretary who collect the pictures and the bios so that you guys can edit the bios. All right. Sometimes they're long and we don't want to have that whole long bio. So I'll give you the bios and you guys can help me to make it more relevant and simpler. Our monthly calendar, we know and we can track what's going to happen 2 weeks from now. All right. So this will get updated. I've been putting it in the newsletter. The president wants to see it in the newsletter. So it's kind of a good thing to help tickle us and show us what's going on. So we'll remember what's going on and not leave anything out. Birthdays and anniversaries. Some of these are pretty special. Our club is going to have a birthday next year that we need to mark, or this year that we need to mark. So we're going to write some things about it. Of course, the board and the officers and how we spotlight some members. We have this thing that we do, it's called it's writing about what each member does. Like some members have their own business, so we might highlight a business and tell about it in the newsletter to see what to promote each other, because that's part of our objective. This nonprofit that you run, Sid, should have a nice article that the kids can write about your accomplishments, how long you've been in business, what you're trying to do, what's the purpose, and so everybody will know. And then the name of the newsletter team. Okay. So those will be the cool things. And like we get to introduce ourselves maybe in one article as the you know, the behind the scenes team that helps put the newsletter together. So
Yeah.
those are the kind of articles we do. We spotlight on things, spotlight on our members, and then there are club events. Coming up shortly will be the social for October. It's a because that's the fifth week. So we're gonna write about that as well. It's we're gonna have the invocation for new members. So Sid is just joining us. She's transferring from one club to the another, but we still have a sweet little ceremony that we do, and we take pictures and write about it either before or after the event. Okay, so as you can see with all of these ideas, we pretty much have a decent newsletter put together. We just have to write it up and sort of map it out. And of course, I will send you previous newsletters. I've sent some to Sid already that you can see how we lay it. Okay. And it's fairly standard. The layout is fairly standard. So this just goes through how I was going to go through how we do them, but I think I just did, so I don't really need this slide. But do you have any questions about what we're expecting you guys to be able to do?
Kids, Tanay, do you have any question? You're good. Good. There is Vineal.
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Okay,
All
can you
right.
see? And then Baru Golapudi.
I'm good. I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know if I'm not being clear or,
Mhm.
Okay.
Can I ask a question here?
uh-huh.
So the first time joining kids, since Abhinav is joining a first time, just want to know what type of work is it on the system he has to create the templates and everything, what type of work they have to do?
We will, so I can answer that,
Sure.
Leslin. So basically, as per the age, we'll be dividing the work and giving it. So if he's in seventh grade, probably we'll give him only a smaller task.
Okay.
But first, I think, yeah, now that we explained, again, we're gonna ask everybody to unmute themselves and pitch in where they can fit in.
Okay.
That way, yeah, that would be the first thing that their comfort level, and then we will expand from there.
Okay. Thank you.
So how often we'll be meeting in person?
In person, we are not meeting in person.
Not
We-
at all.
No, we
Okay.
don't necessarily, we don't have to. This
So-
works remotely.
Remotely. So when you mentioned that there will be a ceremony and kids might have to write about the ceremony, so if they are not attending or don't know what's happening, how would they be able to write? Or
I'll
We'll
give
them.
you,
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
I'll give you pointers on
uh-huh.
what needs to be written about, and we'll have the pictures so that we can
Yeah,
that's
put
a
it
good
together.
question.
I see.
The other thing
but I
is
think-
why kids won't be at this one is it's going to be at a distillery.
So everything it's going to be virtual, right?
Pretty much for our newsletter purposes. Yeah. And like some of the volunteer opportunities where they take pictures and you know, like the
Like the
Rotary Beans
Kodak kind of-
business,
Yeah.
the Rotary Beans business, or the you know, the volunteer programs that we go to, some of those maybe some of the kids can come to that and then and take notes. But for the most part, they really wouldn't need to, you know, because once we give you the pictures, and sort of tell you what the purpose is. It's just small
They
captions.
have to be creative enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
all
small
Just trying to
visualization.
understand, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah, yeah.
paragraph or two. It's not, this is
Yeah.
not heavy,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
in-depth
Okay.
work. All
Yeah,
right.
they're not writing about any war happening or anything.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
No, it's just
Okay.
regular business and
Mhm.
Sounds good.
trust the process. It works.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is make it, I mean, even in the 7th and 6th grade, writing a paragraph on a story on pictures, that is part of one scientific method inference.
Yes.
That's your English. You
Mm-hmm.
can turn some of these in for your grades. Okay.
Mhm.
Talk to your teachers about it. But because I used to do the inference out of pictures. So I know my 7th graders can do this
For years.
Okay. And this is a great
Yeah.
way for you guys to practice.
Started
Mhm.
eating a spoon.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think most of them here, or all of the kids here, except for my daughters, who is Nainisha and Kezria, this is their first time volunteering virtually over here. So they will not know many details, but Madhu, who is our volunteer lead, has been helping several of our other groups. So we have
Okay.
other groups who build websites, where we meet every Saturday, as I was saying, Leslin. So there we give them the requirements and then they present it on the same day. And Madhu is the one who's actually coordinating if they have any questions. But that is, they are working on WordPress, they're working on like more complicated tools than Canva.
Oh,
But this,
yeah. I mean, and
yeah,
that's my point. This is not website building. This is so much
yes,
easier.
yes.
But it's
So,
so important to getting communication out that
mhm,
even though it's easy to do or uses less intense tools, the
mhm.
purpose of it is very important.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So, the kids who actually do the websites, they start from middle school itself.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we have about 12 kids who are working on 3 different websites. And so that's one part. But this one is more creative, and you have to put your thought to it. You have to do research on how different events take place or what Rotary has been doing. Go to the website of Stone Mountain Rotary itself, Facebook pages or Twitter pages. Look at what they are doing, and then you will get an understanding. So it's all about research,
Yeah,
creativity.
and we're international, so a lot of our information is already published online.
Yes.
Rotary International has um, magazines that we publish, and they publish them online to explain, like the whole thing about polio, what's going on and where we are with the fight against polio. Um, there is there's a lot to look at in terms of when we meet as groups and we travel, we also have opportunities where segments of Rotaries, like the Caribbean groups will meet, or there's a Rotary International convention that happens in various places around the world. One was in Taipei, another one was in Auckland, Australia, Atlanta. So you get to highlight the cities and you get to look at what Rotary has done in those different cities and what kind of clubs are in there. But you
Mhm.
get to research that to come up with
Mhm.
a nice article about why it's exciting to go to these events. Right.
Mhm.
And um I will be there to help and guide you. So, I'll try to give you sort of an outline of what needs to be in that article. Okay?
Mhm.
So you're not doing this by yourself. I'm here to help and guide and there may be other members of Stone Mountain Rotary who'll step in and help. Help break down stories and even supply stories that you might just need to edit. And that's all you need to do is edit it. Make it make sense. Always remember the journalistic questions. And if it doesn't answer that, ask again. Tell them that it doesn't answer it. The who, what, where, why, when, how much, how many are the important things, So,
So any kids, any questions? Because I'm gonna give you a brief task right now for 2 minutes. I'm gonna ask you all to open your laptops. I believe you are in front of your laptops. Look up a newsletter, any newsletter. It doesn't have to be Rotary. Just look up a newsletter and present it right now. I'm gonna put a timer on. Leslin, is that okay? You are on mute, Leslin.
yes, that's okay.
Okay, yeah. So Tanay, Vineal,
9.
Abhi, I think, Ayushman, and Naini and Nikki. Let me add that screen time to you, Naini. 2 minutes. Your timer starts now.
Wait, you want us to like share a screen of the newsletter or what?
Research a newsletter. Identify which one you like the most,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna share screen and present it.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Who's housing the out of town division?
Naini, I gave it to you. Kezria, you also will have to research a newsletter.
I already am doing it. I started before.
Oh, nice. One more minute. So remember, whenever you are researching a newsletter, Leslin highlighted few points, right? One is about a bio, the other one about a calendar or speakers. So make sure that your newsletter is covering one of those topics. Okay? Naini, it should be fine if you are not able to present, because I see that you have a technical issue. But the rest of the kids, I want you all to present. And when you are done researching, raise your hand. 30 more seconds. Video cameras on, please. Tanay, I appreciate you switching on your video camera, dear. You will not be able to get volunteer hours if we don't see your faces, kids, because we don't want to have issues in the future. All right. Everyone done?
Are
Are
you
you
done?
guys ready? Raise your hand if you guys are ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Good.
Ah, good. Abhi is the first one to go.
Okay,
Do you
so
want to
go
present?
screen. Present your screen.
Let him learn. Sorry, Abhi's mom.
No, I'm not showing him. I'm just telling
Good,
him to
good,
present.
good. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so this is my
Okay.
school weekly newsletter. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Okay, so this is my school's weekly newsletter.
Oh, you are in a Webbridge Middle School.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you see how they lay it out with each block? And there's a nice one for bingo. These are great graphics.
Mm-hmm. That's what you guys will be doing now.
Can I show you that?
All right.
And it's done.
Paulson,
Oh, what's that?
Paulson.
And
No. Oh, it's on- it
this
never
is
showed.
really good. Thank you so much for finding that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's correct.
He
Yeah.
only asked me to show it.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't help.
Okay. So proud of you, Abhi. Good, good going. I like it. And then during that international festival, even we are setting up a booth from Sarah on behalf of Saratrust. So yeah, this is good. Awesome. Now you know how a newsletter looks like, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Yeah, Nainisha, I think is ready next. Naini, are you ready? Did you
Yeah,
raise
I
your hand?
can. Yeah, I
Okay.
can share my.
Good job, Abhi.
Thank you.
This is the one for IACA.
Naini used to volunteer a lot for IACA.
Okay. And see, the Diwali festival is happening, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very creative flyer. North
Yeah,
Point Mall.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
and some other ads, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And see,
Her brother was-
sometimes we might have an ad like this, but
Yes.
most of these are just announcing events. So this is a really good way of presenting it. Look how creative that is.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
Here's
Yep.
one row. That's
So
Excellent,
this is
Naini.
very good.
That's a big
Very
one.
Mhm. Yeah, next is did Kezria or Ayushman? Who raised their hand first?
I raised my hand and I lowered it. I can go next.
Okay. Please go ahead. Present your screen.
Yeah. Do you see this? Okay, so do you see my screen?
Yes, we see the emails.
Yeah, so I chose Big Future, which is like the company that owns like the SAT,
Haven't seen
is part of Khan Academy, and
Mm-hmm.
they regularly send like these info
Mm.
meetings. Around like every 4 days, or every
Mm.
Friday night.
That one's pretty cool because it includes video.
Mm.
yeah.
And that's an interesting take on it. So I need to do some research on DACDB.
I also looked up like popular newsletters, and this is one I found, Morning Brew. It has like the latest news and like a game section down here, editor specs, and then it talks about the topics and the articles, links to the articles.
Yep.
Hmm.
I
If
read
that,
Morning Brew.
oh,
So
Oh.
that's an excellent one. Good job.
thank you.
Nice. So I think I should also start subscribing for Morning Brew. I never
Yeah, it's
realized.
free. They send you an email every morning and
Oh.
just catch up on the day's events. And it's good for students, so you know what's going on in the world. You know, you have current events as part of your curriculum. So I
Ah,
highly recommend it.
nice. So I would expect all of us to enroll, not enroll, I mean subscribe for that. Okay, next is Kezria.
Okay. So, I didn't really understand what you meant by newsletter, and by everyone else like showing like emails and like websites. I didn't want to really raise my hand, but I just did it anyway. So, I'm gonna share now if I find it. Okay. Just something about it. It's showing my screen. Okay. Boom. Boom.
Hmm.
It's just something.
So this would just be a flyer about an ice cream social,
Yeah.
which is in terms of what I need you to do. I don't need you to produce the whole newsletter. These are the things that we need you to do. So
Mm-hmm.
you're on the right track. No, don't get me wrong. The question that you were asked to do was to find newsletters, okay? And how do I pronounce your name?
Yeah.
Kinzia. So what, and I guys, I apologize. I may butcher names, okay? Um, but I have a difficult name too, so please excuse me. So Kenzia, what you found here is kind of like that end product that I need from you guys. Okay? And I just wanted to make that there's a distinction there. You were asked to find the whole newsletter that and how it conveys information, but we're gonna have to build these newsletters on the DACDB, and I can't give you access, but if you put in these parts and pieces for me, this is beautiful.
Hmm.
So you went a little beyond the question, but the extra mile is always good. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good work, Nikki. So basically, what Leslyn was saying is that we don't build the entire newsletter, any one of you, right? It's only bits and pieces. If Abhi is given a task, Tanay is given a task, and Vinil or Nikki or Naini is given a task, you will be working on your piece of it, either write an article about it or research some images, animate, create new a kind of a flyer thing. If there is a speaker coming, take their picture, put it in the flyer, and create nice, fonts and everything. So that's how you play with it. You just don't create one
It's more
image or
exciting.
one
It's the more.
flyer or one snapshot of it, but create several of them and give Leslyn the option to pick from those, or maybe say, hey, you know what? Maybe we should mix these three together and come up with one. So play with it, right?
Okay. Exactly. So I hope that this is a great journey for you guys and that you learn a lot. Uh, I went to school, I started school for journalism and found computers. But the one of the points my professors used to tell us is that you have to practice writing every day. So we wrote essays every night on whatever the facts of the day were. So this is kind of what you're going to be doing. Whatever the facts of the week are, for 4th of July, we write a different article for Memorial Day. And then you turn around the next minute, there's Indigenous Peoples Day, which was this week. There are all sorts of opportunities to write rather interesting articles. So
And stores are closed.
if you find something that's kind of interesting that might serve our community,
Joann's fabric store.
please
Clothing.
just tell me, all right? Write an article. That's great practice for you. And if there's an opportunity for you to use these articles that you've written in your schoolwork and turn them in for grades, I am sure your teachers would appreciate it. We'll sign off on it, okay?
Maybe ours and
So just let me know.
all of that.
Absolutely. So, Leslie, next steps. First of
No,
all,
this will
kids,
be a good
how
place.
many of you will be continuing with this effort? Because we want commitment. That is very important for us. Raise your hand if you are going ahead and going to commit at least for a couple of months. That's nice, Tanai. All right, Ayushman, Naini, Kezria. Oh, I'm glad. I'm going to take a snapshot of it. Thank you, guys. All right. So I think we have like 6 volunteers, Leslin. You're on mute.
I'm sorry, I keep going on mute. But that's awesome. Thank you so much for volunteering. And I know your parents are going to be involved, and so this is going to be a wonderful building experience for you. And we're gonna write a newsletter.
Yep,
So
yep.
until we actually write one, we're gonna write one together probably in next week's. I'll do this week's newsletter, and I look forward to, I guess we're gonna have to find a time to meet.
Yeah. So every once a week, we usually spend an hour. So the kids who do the web designing, we meet on Saturday morning, 9:30 to 10:30, and Madhu is the lead for that, and she takes the requirements and also they present it on that day. So in
Okay.
1 hour, we do both. I think we have to ask the kids what day and time will you all be able to join a meeting to take a requirement.
For me, mainly Saturdays.
So
Saturday?
would you do 2 hours in the morning?
Uh, like from like 9 in the morning or
9:30? I mean, or maybe an hour and a half. You need,
Afternoon.
yeah, I'll have to see, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think I can take it on Saturday too.
Okay. Saturday, what time, guys? Everyone?
In the afternoon.
Ayushman, I can't hear you.
I could probably do it like either Monday or evening. Not Monday. Sorry, the morning or the evening, not Monday.
Saturday?
okay, so Saturday, everybody's a go for Saturday. Okay.
Okay. So Saturday morning, so I may not be able to join that call because I'll have that 9:30 call in the morning, Leslin. If
Okay.
you guys, I can give you a link and then maybe you guys can have a separate call, or maybe Madhu, should we move our call a little bit ahead or later? What do you suggest? Any thoughts?
Yeah, we can move our call later otherwise. What time, Cynthia? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. 10 o'clock in the morning, is that okay, Madhu?
Yeah, our call 10 to 11 tomorrow for Sarah
Yeah.
Trust call or Sarah Trust.
Sarah Trust only. Tomorrow they'll not be meeting, so we will keep it 9:30 only. But from next week onwards, I think we'll have to move it from 10 to 11.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Tomorrow 9:30. Okay, it works.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Madhu. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. Cynthia.
So, all right, kids, Tanay, Vinil, Abhi, and Ayush. It'll be Monday, Saturdays, 9 to 10 a.m. Are we all okay with that?
I can't make it because I have like SAT class, so
No, I have classes.
Hmm.
Can it be a little late, like 10 a.m. or 10:30?
Are you, so how many of you are writing in the web design? Is it the same people?
No, the web design, these are not, none of them are here.
Okay, so all right, all right.
Yeah.
So we
Can we move
may,
it to Sunday otherwise?
No.
No?
you may not need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
You may, what we may have to do is just have a separate, call for the newsletter.
Yes.
And because if none of you are doing the websites, then, we just have
Yeah.
separate calls.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
understand. But since they are saying Saturday, we also have the call. Like maybe we are okay to have from 10 to 11 for website.
Right. Okay, so that you two, Sid and Madhu, you both can, um,
Jump onto the other call
jump
or
onto the
Mhm.
newsletter call.
Yeah. So, okay, then kids, what time on Saturday? This team, please tell me one time and we have to stick to that for the next one quarter.
10 o'clock.
Two?
In
2
the
p.m.
afternoon.
Uh,
Yeah, 2 p.m.
I'm free at 10 o'clock.
10
10.
o'clock?
Okay.
2 can work for me.
yeah, 2 can work for me too.
High school.
Guys, it's Saturday. Saturday, who works at 2? Don't you go have fun on
Well, I don't want to
Saturday?
work early in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they are
No, I
all
think
night owls.
you should be working with me from the beginning of the year. I make all these kids wake up by 9 a.m. and they're presenting and they're off hours. The website development kids. So
Okay.
10:30 is, I think, good, Leslin. Guys,
Okay.
can you make it at 10:30, please? Because we also have a life.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have my 2 o'clock free on a
Mhm.
10:30.
Saturday.
10:30 is fine.
10:30. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much, Abhi's mom.
Sure.
Rest of you all, Tanai, Kezria said fine. Tanai, 10:30. You'll have to wake up, dear. Okay?
And is it Kezria? Okay, thank
Yeah,
you,
Kezria,
Adela, your
10:30.
daughter.
Yeah, my younger one. That's the reason why the tone, the disrespectful tone.
What tone?
Okay, Ayushman, Vinil, 10:30.
10:30. Yeah, 10:30
Good.
works for me.
Okay.
All right.
Madhu will stick with her 9:30, ma'am. Okay?
Yeah, we'll stick to 9:30. Yeah, got it, Cynthia. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Well, I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you guys next Saturday, and
Yes.
I will have the breakouts and the outlines for all the stories and the ideas that we need to put in the next newsletter. Okay.
So I can give them a task right now and then they can log off. The PowerPoint that you were presenting, can you please present the slide that was showing what all will be going in the newsletter? Quickly, please, Leslin. I know we are over
Sure.
20 minutes, but
Yeah.
yeah, we just can't let them go loose. They have to have something to work on.
So, all the things that need to be in the newsletter.
I think
Okay.
fifth one, right? Fifth slide. Yeah.
Was this it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, kids. Please pick one over here. Take a screenshot if you want. Please pick one topic and let me know which topic you will be working on for the newsletter for next week to present to Ms. Leslin?
And
Neil?
this one here on articles on charities, spotlight on community events. Don't know why there's an I in there, but those are different. Okay, so you can count those as different things that you can do.
So yeah, so I think it just does not come under one itself. Article on charities would be one, spotlight on community would be one.
Yeah.
So pick one. Let me know. Vinyl, which one do you want to pick on?
Do we,
Yeah, Ayushman, go ahead.
can I do birthdays and anniversaries?
Yeah, go
Sure.
ahead.
Birthdays and anniversaries is you create a graphic for birthdays and anniversaries, or you combine it and put club members' names,
Yeah.
The spouses for anniversaries, and it may be, you tell me what you would expect to see on their anniversaries. So, just something cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So Ayushman, you work on that. Vinyl, what are you working on?
Board and officers spotlight on a member.
Spotlight
Okay.
on a member. Okay. Take one influencer or whoever it is that you like and think of them as a member of the Rotary Club. Write an article about them and then show it. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Don't forget the journalistic questions. All right.
Yes.
So,
And something really interesting about them.
sorry, which has been taken?
Articles on charities.
No,
No, sorry.
that's not.
Board
Yeah.
and officer spotlight on a member and birthdays and anniversaries.
Those two are
Okay.
taken.
Can we take club events?
Club events, yes.
Awesome. All right. Club events. Then that is a
And for this club events, you can make up some events that may be coming up, like one big one is coming up in a week, and create a flyer on it. Okay.
Yeah. Tanai, what are you gonna pick?
I was planning on picking club events.
Club events. You wanna?
Okay.
All right.
Same
You
thing.
can
You just,
duplicate. Yeah. Let's see the variation.
yeah.
90.
I could do speakers.
Okay. That would be a bio. So pick somebody who you think is fascinating and sort of why they're fascinating and what they would write about, what they would talk to you about.
And
Okay.
Nikki.
I wanted to do birthdays.
Yeah, you
Well,
can do
again,
birthday.
that's fine. That's a graphic. So you get to use your creative skills, and I don't mind if you duplicate for this event. So
Yeah.
be creative.
Yes. Sounds good. All right. So I think we have a task for next week. So Leslin, 10:30 on Saturday. I'll send a invite. Please share your email addresses, everyone, all the kids. So I can
Yes.
put it on your calendar. And then Miss Leslin will be your mentor for the next quarter or 6 months.
Okay. Yes. And we've got some exciting things happening in our club, and I am so thrilled to have you guys on board to help us build this. So I look forward to seeing you next Saturday.
Awesome. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Ms. Leslin. Thank you, everyone. Any questions, team? Kids? No. All right.
So I will still send this
Deck.
deck to you, and
Yes.
you can distribute to the kids. Okay.
Yeah. And there is an actually WhatsApp group. If you want, you can join that group, or if not, that's fine too.
Okay,
Um,
no, I can join it. Just invite me.
Okay, I think yeah, we'll let somebody, a parent, create a separate one, and then we'll add everyone in that group so that this
Okay.
is only for the journalists. And come up with a name for our group, kids. Okay, a
Okay,
title,
we're
a
gonna
name for
close the
our.
meeting, man. We're gonna close it.
All right,
All right.
guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
All
Great
right.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.